The men and women of the United Nations, the UN, don't want people to use gendered language. I'm gonna tell them to go screw themselves. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the Twitters, we're here with the United Nations. As you can see, they are verified. Blue check mark. And here you can see in the profile, this is the official account of the United Nations. Interestingly, they're followed by, the DPRK. They're followed by North Korea. Isn't that interesting? So let's see what they had to say. What you say matters. Help create a more equal world by using gender-neutral language. If you're unsure about someone's gender or are referring to a group, unwomen.org/en. Hashtag Generation Equality via @UNWoman. You know, I believe people point this out in the replies because it's kind of, it's hilarious, the blatant hypocrisy. But if we're not supposed to use gendered language, why did they name their organization United Nations Women? And here, look, it's on the sidebar. UN Women is the UN entity for gender equality and women's empowerment. That's a good one. Join hashtag Generation Equality for an equal future. Well, that's wonderful. You know, in the West, men and women are considered equal under the law. You know, I don't know if that's, scientifically accurate. No one is truly born equal, and there's clearly differences between men and women. You know, there's two genders. There's only two genders, and, the genders are different. But isn't it funny that they claim to be about equality, yet it says UN women and not UN people? That's how you know it's baloney. So let's look at this picture that they posted here. If you don't know someone's gender, or when talking about a group, use gender-neutral language. Instead of mankind, use humankind. These people. You know, this is about the quality and intelligence that I would expect from an organization called UN Women. Because mankind does not refer to men. It refers to the race of man. The human race. It is not a reference to gender. You people are dumb. Instead of chairman, chair. Nice to meet you, chair. Can I sit on you? I want to sit on your face. There's already a word for a female chairman. It's called chairwoman. Instead of congressman, legislator. Instead of businessman, representative. You do know that most of these words have a female equivalent? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one's hilarious. Okay. Landlord. Instead of landlord, say owner. This is actually probably the most hilarious word on this list. I'm going to explain to you why. Now, I could be wrong on this. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm pretty sure landlord refers to feudal lords and isn't necessarily gender specific. In another way, they're basically saying that all men are lords. You heard that right, ladies. You will address Mr. Obvious by his proper title. Lord Obvious, Slayer of the Thoughts. But instead of saying boyfriend or girlfriend, say partner, salesman, salesperson, and on and on. This is cultural Marxist garbage. In simpler terms, it's nonsense. Absolute baloney. So the United Nations put out this tweet, and obviously people are laughing at them for their stupidity. But there's bigger implications here. Does the United Nations, which is supposed to represent the world, understand that a lot of languages, a lot of foreign languages are gendered languages? Spanish, for example, has gendered language. That means that, some words are feminine and some words are masculine. That's just how the language is. So are they saying that a language like Spanish is wrong? That is not very progressive of the United Nations. In fact, I'd say it's disrespectful to Mexico. So that's something to consider. So this tweet got 5,000 likes and 2,000 retweets. And we're going to take a look at some of the replies because they are funny. And we still need to tell the United Nations to go screw themselves. Of course, we see Mark Dice making fun of them obviously saying that their social media team is, these very woke-looking individuals. Quite unflattering. I chose Hampshire says, brilliance. We could call it Newspeak. Now that's a really good point. In George Orwell's 1984, the whole concept of Newspeak. Now what exactly is Newspeak? Well, most of you know about George Orwell. He was a famous author. He's famous for writing 1984. It was a story about a dystopian future. It was really a critique of communism. But in the book, words are reduced because the complexity of language promotes freedom of thought. And if people are able to think, they're able to question your dictatorship. They're able to question corruption. So what they did was change language, change definitions, and create Newspeak. So instead of saying, today is a really wonderful day, you would say, double plus good, or double plus bad if it was a bad day. A lot of the meaning is lost. It becomes reductive. It's a very simplistic, and if you use Newspeak enough, you'll lose your ability to really think. And that was the whole goal. Newspeak was their tool to brainwash and control you. So when they say, don't use gendered language, they're trying to control the way you think and the way the world works. All to push their own insane agenda. So the women and the men of the UN can go screw themselves, because I'm never going to use gender-neutral language. Okay? Stop being a little snowflake and trying to change language and push your agenda. So someone posted this hilarious video, and we're going to go over here to YouTube, and it says, celebrate non-arboreal multicellular carbon-based caretaker day. Obviously a joke about Father's Day and Mother's Day. Here you see in the description. Say no to Mother's Day and to Father's Day. Respect the non-binary and gender-neutral folks. Reject antiquated biological thinking.
Biological essentialism. I much prefer that if you're going to walk up to me or send me a message to, offer me your good wishes, either on so-called Mother's Day or on Father's Day, please do so as follows. Wish me a good, non-arboreal, multicellular, carbon-based caretaker day. It's a mouthful, but it's more accurate.
Now, clearly, I think this is a troll video. If it's not, then wow. But it's funny, so I really doubt it's real. Pretty funny. Pretty good stuff. This was posted a year ago, but it is so accurate. And of course, someone points out the obvious. The red-headed libertarian says, look at your website. It says UN woman. You're using gendered language, UN women. You need to change it to non-arboreal, biological caretaker, or whatever he was saying. Use gender-neutral language there. You must change it. UN woman is offensive. Take out the woman and just put Zimzer or something. So this is the UN. I think the UN is a disaster and an absolute joke. It should not exist. And we see Sticks, Hex, and Hammer here saying, F you, F you, F you, F you, F you. And well, I kind of agree. I kind of agree with that, Mr. Sticks. But this is just so dumb. Say mankind. It's not hard. Now, someone points out the fact that this list may have been created by someone who is not a native English speaker. For example, landlord, which refers to a feudal lord, not a man. But yeah, that's probably what happened. And that's just one of the joys of diversity. The inability to, have proper English. But there you have it, folks. And they're trying to tell you not to use language. So we need to tell the men and women of the UN to shut the hell up. And we're gonna do that, folks. So we're gonna reply. We're gonna tippy type here and say, the men and the women of the UN, a totally not legitimate organization run by morons, are cordially invited to shut the F up. Suck my ass. This, my friends, is poetry. It's a beautiful message if I do say so myself. And reply. The UN wants us all to use this gendered neutral language. Like, totally, man. Like, who are they helping with this? No one. This is a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste of everyone's attention. It is a waste, just like the United Nations. What does the United Nations really do? Nothing, except maybe molest people in other nations. Oh, have you seen the stories? Did you know that on Wikipedia, there's actually an entire page dedicated to all of the people who work for the United Nations who were caught abusing, children. That's the United Nations, a corrupt, sick, twisted organization. So when the UN wastes my time and tells me that I shouldn't use gendered language, I have a sincere and very heartfelt message for them. Shut the fuck up.